Welcome to the Ohio Health Ice House in Columbus, Ohio. My name is Quinn Kuski, and I am here to bring you the game between the Liberty Flames and the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. Every other game today for the women's D1 tournament has led to a series sweep. The Golden Gophers will attempt to right that path, being down 1-0 to the Liberty Flames. The Flames came out last night and had an absolutely dominant effort, and it all stemmed from the play of goaltender Chantel Kerr, who is not starting tonight as they go with Nadia Rupoli instead of Kerr. Resting Kerr for a game in preparation for what could potentially be a Game 3 could work out, as if the Flames are to lose this game, they would have a rested #1 goalie ready to go for tomorrow night. We will now kick things down to our PA announcer, Andy Storrs.
ACHA YouTube Network. Welcome to the Ohio Health Ice House in Columbus, Ohio for the 2018 American Collegiate Hockey Association Women's Division I National Championship Tournament, hosted by the Greater Columbus Sports Commission, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Ohio Health Chiller Ice Rinks. This is ACHA Public Address Announcer Andy Storrs. This is game number 8, and it features on the visiting bench the number 8 seed, the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. And on the home team bench, the number 1 seed, the Liberty University Flames. Let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. Beginning with the bench, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. In goal, a sophomore from New Prague, Minnesota, number 1, Alex Morris. On defense, a senior from Medina, Minnesota, number 2, Becca Senden. On defense, a junior from Matamidi, Minnesota, number 4, Amy Krebsbach. At center, a sophomore from Woodbury, Minnesota, number 8, Liv Tuig. At left wing, a senior from Isanti, Minnesota, number 17, Lindsay Oden. And at right wing, a senior from Shoreview, Minnesota, number 14, Christy Oliver. The head coach of the Golden Gophers is Brian Abraham. The assistant coach is Eliza Abraham, the goaltending coach, Claire Wheaton. And now the starting lineup for the home team bench, the Liberty University Flames. In goal, a sophomore from Oakville, Ontario, number 0, Nadia Rupoli. On defense, a sophomore from Port Huron, Michigan, number 13, Dana McLeod. On defense, a freshman from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, number 24, Christy Serafin. At center, a sophomore from Trenton, Ontario, number 10, Allie Morris. At left wing, a junior from Rochester, Minnesota, number 2, Lauren McDonald. And at right wing, a sophomore from Dorchester, Ontario, number 17, Alex Smyberg. The head coach of the Flames is Chris Lowe's. His assistants are Justin Forth and Leah Carlson. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps? And join me, soloist Andy Storrs and organist Carrie Lichthart, in the singing and playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare the pumps bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
As both teams get ready for the puck drop, the Golden Gophers, who were down 4-0 entering the third period in last night's contest, wound up making the final score 4-1. And so winning the third period, while they weren't able to win the game, perhaps they were able to gain a little bit of momentum for this contest tonight. And if that is the case, perhaps they can right the ship and turn everything around tonight and even up this series at 1 apiece and force a game tomorrow. If you're the Flames, you know that every other team in this contest is getting a day off tomorrow, so you desperately want to win this game and get yourself a day off as well, because you don't want every other team to be rested while you're tired. And while they are the #1 seed, exhaustion can play a factor, and that's not something that you want to be dealing with. Now both teams come in and approach the face-off circle as we get ready to get this first period underway here in Columbus, Ohio. Morris and Rupoli in net. Last night it was Campbell and Kerr, so we'll see what happens with different netminders between the pipes for this game. Puck played around the boards, and the Golden Gophers have possession in their offensive end. The Flames twist it around, and it's taken up now by the Flames, but the Golden Gophers take one, and a shot quickly blasted in by Sendin, but it is taken back by the Flames, and now they start their attack. A quick shot in is covered by Morris, and we'll have a face-off now in the defensive zone of the Golden Gophers. Both teams make line changes and bring on their second lines. Face-off won by the Golden Gophers, and they have possession. Banked off the boards as they look to extend play out of their own end. Now they come back, and Anderson plays. Anderson twists it around for Roberts. Roberts battling for possession behind her own goal, and now the Flames come away with it. The Flames with Birney. Birney in the slot with a quick shot. That one goes wide. Now they start the cycle again, looking for room. Now the puck taken by the Golden Gophers. Lugging it down ice now is Drown. Drown pulls the trigger, and she goes just wide of the cage. Then she tries to flip a backhand from a sharp angle, and that doesn't go either. And it will be covered up, and Rupoli will hold for a draw. So far, lots of back and forth play. Neither team really showing they have an advantage as both teams just try to settle into this one. Face-off won by the Golden Gophers. Now battling for it for the Flames is John. Golden Gophers digging away at it as well, but John comes away with possession. It's now played out, and that one gets tapped down out of the air by the Golden Gophers, and it is ruled to have been played by a high stick, and we'll have a face-off. That face-off will come back to the Golden Gopher defensive zone, and they are not allowed to change. The Flames, on the other hand, are allowed to change, and they will exercise that right. And they will bring their lines out on their new line out on the ice and win the draw. But the Golden Gophers regain possession, and bringing it down ice now is Hazelwood. With possession now, though, are the Flames as they begin to bring it back the other way. The Merchant passing ahead, and lugging it in now is Greenwood. Greenwood sends it up to the point, and a quick shot from the point. The Merchant tried to deflect it on goal, but wound up deflecting it wide. Now Serafin sends it down low. Try to go back up into the slot. That doesn't connect. And now the Golden Gophers come away with possession. Now passed ahead there by Sendon and just dumped in on goal. And the Golden Gophers will use this opportunity to make a change. Flames now working it out of their own end. With speed comes McDonald. McDonald down the wing. She passes across ice, and that doesn't quite connect. Now she gets it back behind the goal. McDonald twisted down to the ice. And now the Golden Gophers get it out of their end. Golden Gophers looking to start a counterattack, but McDonald comes up from behind and picks their pocket. And now it's passed on and is controlled by the Flames once more. That pass there from Pierce is off the mark, but then quickly intercepted right back by Tipping. Now the Golden Gophers have it once more in their offensive end. Golden Gophers attempting to generate a chance here, but Tipping manages to rip the puck free and passes off to McDonald, and McDonald brings it out through to neutral ice, and she'll dump in and go off for a change. That one guided wide by Morris, and now passed up by the Golden Gophers, but that one quickly deflected back into their zone by the Flames. And now the Flames have it in their offensive end, a pass out in front, but that doesn't connect. Now stepping up forward is Como. Como takes a couple shots, neither one finding their way through. Now the puck loose in the slot and is grabbed by the Golden Gophers in the form of Odin. Odin attempting to clear the zone, unable to do so. Now it's dumped back into the corner, and going after it is Smeebert. Now the Golden Gophers manage to play it out into neutral ice and up into the bench, and we'll have a stoppage. Face off at neutral ice. It's battled for and won by the Flames. McDonald twisted around, couldn't find it. And now the Golden Gophers take it in the form of Gusesberg. Gusesberg dumps it in, and the Flames go in after it. But quickly possession gained back by the Golden Gophers. They walk out in front and take a quick wrist shot. That one from a sharp angle, easily padded away by Rupoli. Now both teams battle for it in the near corner, and possession is gained by Carroll. Carroll trying to work it out of her own defensive zone. Now passes ahead, and it's banked off the board, and Lysel brings it down the wing. Golden Gophers, though, get in front of that one, and Stoner takes it away. Now both teams scrap for it. The Golden Gophers have it once more. They send it around behind, and back goes Hagstrom to gain possession for the Gophers. Golden Gophers looking to get it out of their own end, and they will do so with Shea. Shea bringing it up through neutral ice. She has it poked off her stick by Bradford. And now it's lugged ahead by Tipping. Tipping bringing it in all the way. Tipping with a wrist shot, and that one gets patted away. A strong save from Morris. Now both teams battle for it along the far wall, and the Golden Gophers come away with possession. Skating down ice now, is dumping it in is Shea. Going after it there was Stoner, but she was unable to gain possession, and now the Flames control. Pierce plays it with a D-to-D pass, and now it's played ahead for Fair. It's twisted onward, but that one intercepted by Sendon, and she goes to send it back into the defensive zone. Now going after it is Kresbach. Kresbach passes onwards, and it gets dumped in right on goal, and Rupoli will just cover, and we'll have a face-off. Both teams now approach the face-off circle. We await the puck drop. There's the draw, and it is won by the Gophers. Quick slap shot from the blue line there from Anderson, goes just wide. Now coming away with possession is Smeebert. Smeebert plays it ahead for McDonald. McDonald trying to go back to her. That doesn't connect though. Now twisted out into the slot. Now both teams spar for it, and eventually the Golden Gophers come away in the form of Roberts. Roberts passes through past her teammates, but gets it in to the neutral zone, and now pass comes back right to her. And now Roberts plays ahead, and she sets it up for Gusesberg, who dumps in to go off for a change. It's twisted around, and the Flames look to get it out of their own end. They will do so, and they've played it up to neutral ice. And now coming in looking for an opportunity is Gibson. Gibson pushes it in deep, but possession is gained back by the Gophers. It's twisted down low by the Flames, and now both teams spar for it along the far wall. Neither team really able to pull it away, and finally the Gophers manage to push it out to neutral ice and force a retreat from the Flames. Gophers managed to push it all the way to their offensive end, but only briefly as the Flames send it right back out. Gophers now will send it in deep, and right there to retrieve it is McLeod. McLeod loses possession. Now a chance for the Gophers, and a quick shot right into the stomach of Rupoli, and she covers up and holds for a draw. A good chance there, probably the first really good chance of this entire game for either team, and Rupoli up to the task. She makes the save, and with 12:41 remaining in the first period, we are still even at zeros. One back to the point and a quick shot. That doesn't go, and now going after it is Lysel. Lysel setting up a 2-on-1. Passed across and tapped forward, and almost getting one there with Smeebert, but unable to finish it. Now both teams jab for it. Carroll coming away with possession. That one gets twisted around, and going after it are the Golden Gophers. Both teams still spar along the far wall. It gets sent across. Carroll with a chance out in front. She passes for looking for Greenwood. Greenwood unable to deflect it into the net. Now the Golden Gophers pass goes off the mark, and Tipping retreats back, no icing, and she'll take it behind her own net. Golden Gophers forecheck, force a turnover. Now they have possession. Drown had it briefly, but now the Golden Gophers now the Flames come away. Cranked in deep there by Gilmore, and she'll go off for a change. And we'll have a stoppage due to a tripping call on the Gophers. So a power play upcoming for the Flames with 11:43 remaining in the first period. The Flames here with the first good opportunity of this game. They're hoping that they can generate something on this power play and get an early goal in the first and try to sweep this series. Gophers looking to kill this off, as it's good for momentum if you can kill a penalty. Tipping from her own defensive zone. Passes ahead, and it's now taken by Fair. Fair lugging into the zone. She passes across, but that one's blocked away by the Golden Gophers and cleared back out. Tipping going back to retrieve it. Twohig in on the forecheck. Both battle for it now, and it's eventually taken away by the Flames, but now it's twisted back in for Twohig. And now it gets punched back out to neutral ice, and the Golden Gophers will send it right back in deep. Now in on the forecheck is Odin. And Twohig comes away with possession. And now her and Odin have a 2-on-1 on the shorthanded opportunity. Twohig with a shot and covered up by Rupoli. And with 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining in the Flames power play and 10:51 in the first, another strong save by Rupoli. Two good opportunities for the Golden Gophers early. They're looking to extend this series into tomorrow. Face off, one back to the Flames. Flames with possession now as they bring it up through neutral ice. Gibson on the puck, she loses it back to center. DeMerchant twists it farther, and now they control back at neutral ice. Gibson plays it ahead, and now it is controlled by the Flames. DeMerchant at the blue line, takes a shot, and that one is snared and covered by Morris. 10:17 remains in the first period, 34 seconds in the Flame power play. Flames going with a full line change, bringing out a new unit. See if this unit can capitalize on this man advantage. Both teams spar away at it, and now it's taken and shot in by Tipping, and that one snared and covered. Another good save for Morris. Faceoff comes back to the same spot, and it is won by the Flames. Back now for Bierney. Her wrist shot gets blocked down. Now she gets a second chance at it. Takes another shot. That one gets through. A rebound opportunity and buried. An early goal for Alex Smeebert, the sophomore out of Dorchester, Ontario. And just like that, it is 1-0 Liberty Flames. A great pair of shots from Bierney. The first one got blocked down out in front. The second one went off the pads of Morris, came right out for a rebound. Smeebert right there, buries it home. Just like that, the Flames have a lead in game 2 of this series, just like they have a lead in the series, 1-0. Face off one back and now controlled by the Flames in the form of John. John twists it forward. On the stick briefly of Lysel. And now it's controlled by the Golden Gophers. Gophers with possession, but now it's taken back and played ahead by Bradford. Bradford sends it around behind and Lysel goes after it. Now it's taken away and Hazelred attempts to clear the zone. With the puck now is Anderson. Anderson gets it out to neutral ice and it gets sent back in deep, and going after it is Roberts. Roberts twists it around and connects with Zacho. Zacho works it out of her own end, but now taken back at neutral ice by McDonald. McDonald gliding through neutral ice, and she takes a shot, aiming for the far side, but it goes wide. And now Zacho clears the zone once more. A stretch pass attempt there gets intercepted, but now the Flames have it back with Pierce. Dumped into the zone by Morris. And now the Golden Gophers look to bring it out. The Flames intercept that pass and they play ahead for McDonald. McDonald with some body contact there. Now Smeebert with possession. Smeebert walks out in front. She takes a shot, and that one turned aside by Morris. Dumping it back into the zone now are the Flames. Delayed offsides, but it doesn't matter because they're getting off for a change anyways. Golden Gophers now bring it out of their own end and pass ahead for Oden. Oden working it into the zone, but turns it over to the Flames. Flames now with it in their own defensive end. Oden on the forecheck. Twowig over to help now. Now DeMerchant brings it out for the Flames. DeMerchant plays it deep into the zone and goes after it herself. She twists around with it and passes back to the point for John. John's shot looking for a deflection. That doesn't work. And now the Golden Gophers clear it out as far as neutral ice, and now it's taken by John in her own defensive end. She plays a stretch pass forward and connects with Allie Morris, but only briefly, and the Golden Gophers dump it back in. Flames with possession, passed ahead, and lugging out now is DeMerchant. She plays ahead now for Lysel. Lysel in the zone by herself, needing help and unable to get any as the Golden Gophers have already taken possession. Both teams battle for it in the Gophers' defensive end, and it's taken by McDonald. She plays for Lysel, but Lysel unable to get a stick on that puck. And it twists away now in the possession of the Gophers. Puck pops up in the air, and John takes a wrist shot. That one through traffic, no one able to deflect it, and it winds up going wide. With the puck now is Greenwood. It gets played around the zone. The Flames have the puck now with a delayed penalty, so they have 6 on the ice. If they can score on this, it doesn't, never mind, as the Gophers touch up. Interference call up coming on the Gophers. Heading to the box is Ames Kriesbach. And the second power play of the game ensuing for the Flames. They're currently 1-for-1 tonight, seeing if they can go 2-for-2 with 6:57 remaining in the first period. There's the puck drop, and it's out in front. And now it gets dumped down, and going back to retrieve it is Tipping. Tipping controlling behind her own net. Winds up tripping one of her teammates. But now it's controlled by Smeebert. Smeebert brings into the zone. She passes ahead now and connects with Fair. Fair unable to get anything going. And it's now controlled by the Flames along the far wall in the form of Gilmore. Gilmore plays it to the point for Tipping. Tipping's shot is gloved and held by Morris. 6:19 to go in the first period And this game remains 1-0 in favor of the Flames off the strength of their power play goal. And now they're back on the power play for another minute and 22. Face-off won and played back for Tipping. Tipping takes a wrist shot. That one gets deflected but winds up going wide of the cage. Birney goes back to retrieve, and she controls now. She leaves for Tipping. Tipping steps up, passes across for Smeebert. Her shot is saved by Morris and cleared back out by the Golden Gophers. Now Ripoli comes out of her cage to play it. She leaves it for Tipping, and Tipping passes on, hoping for McDonald, but that pass off the mark, and now it's cranked back into the zone by the Gophers. The Flames from their own end looking to get an attack started. It's played ahead for DeMerchant. DeMerchant passes cross ice and connects with McDonald. McDonald leaves it, and Morris comes in and takes possession. Now DeMerchant passes back for McDonald. McDonald goes back to DeMerchant. DeMerchant goes up to the point for McLeod. McLeod goes across, and it's controlled by Gibson. And now catch is played as it goes back down low for McDonald. Goes back up to the point where it's mishandled and escapes back to neutral ice, and now controlled by McLeod. Now Gibson with it at neutral territory. 10 seconds remain as she loses an edge. This is the 4th game of hockey played on this sheet of ice. It might not be in the best condition any longer. McDonald plays ahead, hoping to connect with DeMerchant. Unable to do so, though. And that will be the penalty killed by the Golden Gophers. Now the puck loose in the Gophers' offensive end, but they're unable to gain possession as now John controls. John sends it back, and it's passed on now by McLeod. Golden Gophers intercept that pass, and they send it back in deep for the zone. John takes somebody out, and that will be called a body checking penalty. That was a little bit more than body contact. Referees decide to call a penalty on that one, and a power play to the Golden Gophers will ensue. Gophers making a line change, as will the Flames as they get their power play and PK units onto the ice. Now we await the puck drop. There's the draw, and it's won by the Flames. They'll look to clear the zone as fast as they can. Unable to do so now, and it is possessed by the Gophers, but only briefly did they hold the puck as the Flames clear it back out. Going into retrieve now after it's settled by Morris is Senden. Senden mishandles, and now retreating back again are the Gophers. This time, Kresbach with it. Kresbach leaves it off, and it's taken ahead by Twowig. Twowig from her own defensive zone pokes it forward in a diving effort there from Oliver, but she's unable to get a stick on it, and the Flames will fling it all the way back down. Controlled now by Senden. Senden passes ahead, and it was on the stick of Oliver briefly, but the Flames take it back and dump it down once more. 1:05 to go in the Gophers power play. So far, ever since the original dump it down from the Flames, they haven't been able to get back into the zone. Oliver does get back into the zone now, and she stalls and waits for teammates, and her pass across is intercepted by the Flames, and they'll send it back out as far as neutral ice, where it's taken on now by Hagstrom. Hagstrom sends it around the boards, hoping for Odin. That doesn't connect, and the Flames send it back out with 39 to go in the power play. Back around to get it now is Roberts. Roberts controlling from her own end. And it's played ahead now, and going after it is Hagstrom. Unable to get it, though, and now the Flames have possession. The Gophers intercept that pass, and now Drown brings it through neutral ice. But she's held up by a Flame. And now Roberts gains possession in her own defensive zone. Roberts leaves it off for Hagstrom. Now they connect with Drown. Drown mishandles it, and the Flames battle for it for a second. And now coming away with possession is McLeod. McLeod leaves it off for McDonald with 3 seconds to go in the kill. McDonald with a hard shot, and that one covered up and frozen by Morris right as the penalty expires. And so with 2:35 to go in the first period, we're back to even strength, and the Flames still hold their 1-0 lead. Both teams making their line changes. This draw is won by the Flames, and a quick wrist shot is snared and covered by Morris. Only a few seconds running off the clock there. Neither team finds the necessity to make a line change. And the Flames win the draw again, and they take another shot. This one winds up going wide, and the Golden Gophers have possession. Golden Gophers looking to clear their end, but a scrum for it along the near wall, and they eventually do get it out to neutral ice where it's played on by Como. Como with possession in her own defensive end. She plays ahead looking for Smeebert. That off the mark though, and it's taken and sent around the boards by Kresbach. Kresbach passes ahead and connects with Gusesberg. Gusesberg in a battle for it, and she winds up losing possession. And now the Flames take it back in the form of Smeebert. Smeebert, the lone goal scorer so far tonight, and now is controlled once more by Gusesberg, but she loses it again, and the Flames take a pass across. That doesn't connect, and now it's controlled by Anderson. Anderson looking to get it out of her own end and does so. She passes ahead for Gusesberg, and Gusesberg's dumped in is blocked off by Pierce. And now it's taken on by the Flames. Flames coming out of the zone with Gibson. Gibson gets taken down, no call. And now is cleared out as far as neutral ice where Pierce will control. Pierce holding in her own defensive end. She passes ahead now for Tipping. Tipping plays ahead for Bierney. Bierney lugging it through the offensive end, looking for a passing option out in front. She passes cross ice and connects with Tipping. Tipping takes a wrist shot through traffic. It's now loose in the slot. Both teams scramble for it, and a quick wrist shot try there, and Gilmore is unable to put it home. 1 minute remains in the first. It gets cleared back out to neutral ice and is taken by Tipping. Tipping brings it back into the offensive end, does a little toe drag move and sends it into the far corner. And now Tipping controls, and she sends it down low for Lysel. Lysel's backhand seemed to have caught Morris off guard, but she covers up. And with 43.9 to go in the first, we'll go to a draw. One of the accursed goals come in the first and last minute of periods. If you are the Flames, you're looking to get one. The Gophers are looking to get one, but neither team wants to give one up here. With possession there and twisting it down ice is Serafin. It gets kicked back out to the defensive zone of the Flames, and McLeod looking to clear the zone and does so. Bringing it into the zone now are the Flames. They twist it around the boards, but the first player there is a Gopher, and the Gophers get it out as far as neutral ice, and now Hazelwood brings it into the offensive end. Hazelwood dangles by, looking to take a shot and does so, and the official has an arm in the air, and we will get a penalty here with 8.3 remaining in the first period. The Golden Gophers will have a power play to kick off the second period, but perhaps they get a goal in 8.3 with 8.3 remaining here in the first, and we go to the second at even strength. One way or the other, a power play ensuing for the Gophers. Penalty was to Bradford, 2 minutes for hooking. Face-off is won by the Gophers. It gets sent cross ice. Now a shot on goal there, doesn't find its way through, and that will be the end of one. The score at the end of the first, the Liberty Flames 1 and the Minnesota Golden Gophers 0. We will return for the second period here at the Ohio Health Ice House in Columbus, Ohio. You are watching the ACHA YouTube network. And we are back for the start of the second period between the Liberty Flames and the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. The score is currently 1-0 in favor of the Flames, but the Gophers have a power play for the next minute and 51 seconds as they look to keep their playoff hopes and dreams alive. This is a do-or-die game for the Golden Gophers. If they are able to win this game, they will push a final Game 3 tomorrow night. If you're the Flames, your goal is to end it here, knowing that every other team has pulled out the brooms and gotten their sweeps off, and you do not want to be the only team playing a game on Friday as you go into the second round much more tired than all the other teams that had a day off. Now, both goalies went ahead and roughed up their creases, and we get ready for the puck drop to kick off the second period. And there's the draw, and it is won by the Golden Gophers and is now possessed by Kresbach. Kresbach loses the puck, but now it's taken on by Twowig. Twowig leaves it off, and it is taken ahead now by Odin. Odin rushing down the wing. She gets taken down to the ice as the puck on a clearance attempt is gloved down by Senden, and she now takes it in her own defensive end. Senden looking to get the Golden Gophers attack started, but her breakout pass is blocked down right in front of her by Fair. Now tipping with possession for the Flames as she flips it on ahead, and it's taken on now by the Golden Gophers. They pass ahead now, and it's taken by Oliver. Oliver sends it up to the point, and a slap shot from Kresbach gets deflected away. Good opportunity there for the Gophers. And now a mishandled pass is taken by Smeebert, and she's in on a breakaway. Smeebert takes a shot, and that one is saved. A strong save from Morris. Smeebert, the lone goal scorer so far today, just about got her second right then and there. With possession now, and a quick shot, one-time shot there from Odin is snared and covered by Rapoli. Both teams bringing out their second power play and penalty kill units as we reset now for an offensive drone faceoff for the Gophers. Faceoff is won by the Gophers. They send it up to the point where it is controlled now and shot down low by Kresbach. A chance right out in front, but that one skitters wide, and the Gophers are forced to retreat back to neutral ice. Passed ahead now by Anderson, and that one goes down low, and the call will be icing on the Gophers with 13 seconds remaining in their power play. 18:21 remain in the second period. Refs seem to be discussing exactly what the call was, deciding where the faceoff is going to be. Appears as though the call was offsides, not icing, and the faceoff will remain at neutral ice. And now we get set for the draw, and it is won by the Flames. Flames with possession in the form of Fair, and Fair sends it all the way down, and that will be the end of the power play for the Gophers. Takes an awkward bounce off a stanchion out in front, and the Gophers almost put it in on their own net there. Just a mishandling of the pass. Kind of caught Morris off guard as she wasn't ready for it. Now sent down low by DeMerchant as it goes around, and McDonald's after it, but it is taken on now by the Gophers. That pass off the mark though, and intercepted by Smeebert. Smeebert plays ahead for McDonald, but it's caught up in her skates, and now Smeebert sends it into the zone. Going in after it now is Morris. Morris sparring away at it, and possession comes away in the form of Anderson. Anderson looking to chop it on, but McDonald sends it out in front for Smeebert. That doesn't go. John stepping up and pinching in, but that doesn't. She's unable to make anything happen either. Racing back after it now is Serafin. Serafin gets taken down into the ice, and she crashes into the boards. She gets back up to her skates and seems to be fine as the Golden Gophers possess, and they take a shot that goes through traffic, but they're unable to get anything on frame. Now both teams battling for it along the near wall. And Senden manages to poke it free, and she comes away with possession. She takes a fluttering shot that's caught by the trapper of Rapoli, and she'll hold for a draw. 16:58 remains in the second period. So far this game, it has seemed like a fairly dominant effort from the Flames. They've kept play and their offensive end fairly often, but more recently, since the start of this period, we're starting to see a strong pushback from the Golden Gophers as they attempt to get even in this series and even in this game. Racing down the wing now are the Flames, and a pass right across the net mouth, but unable to tap it in on the back door was Bierney. Twisted back down low now by Gilmore. And it pops free and is controlled by Bierney. Bierney sends a pass across, and now it goes back up to the point for Tipping. Tipping wrists one through traffic, but that one just gets blocked down, and it comes away for the Golden Gophers in the possession of Linville. Linville loses it, and now it's taken on by Como. Como's wrist shot is blockered away by Morris. And now sent back up the boards, but it's intercepted by Bierney, and she sends it back in deep into the zone. Golden Gophers send it up through their defensive end. It goes past everybody, and racing after it is Como for what is not an icing, as a deflection was ruled. And now Como twists it on in her defensive end, and it's played ahead now for Lysel. Lysel plays ahead, and it's taken by McDonald. McDonald with a lot of speed through neutral ice, and she's in and backhands one, and she's unable to put it away. McDonald far and away the fastest player on either one of these teams, and she's been using her speed to her advantage for the past 2 games. With possession now is Anderson. Anderson loses it, and it's poked on now by the Flames. McDonald trying to force one out in front. Now she tries to stuff one home, and that doesn't work, and possession is taken by the Golden Gophers. Gophers come racing through neutral ice on the stick of Kresbach. Kresbach loses possession, though, and it's twisted out of the zone by Pierce. Gophers have it escape back out to neutral ice for a second time, and going after it and gaining possession is Twowig. Twowig makes a move by one, shakes off a slash, and brings it into the offensive end. She tries to split the 2 defensemen. She tumbles down to the ice, and it is covered up by Rapoli, and we'll have a draw with 15:07 remaining in the second period. Both teams make line changes. Liberty gets the right to change second, being the home team, as they are the higher seed in the playoffs. Both teams scrapping for it, and eventually possession in control of the Flames. Bringing it into the zone now are the Flames, and dumping it in and going after it herself is Fair. Now both teams sparring for it, and Fair comes away with possession. Fair with a shot, Bradford in after the rebound, and now Fair has it once more. Fair sends it back up to the point. It's sent back down low for Fair. Fair takes a shot, and that one is jumped on and covered by Morris. The score is still 1-0 in favor of the Flames, with 14:35 remaining in the second period. Flames bringing on their first line. Smeebert, Morris, and Pierce. Smeebert in to take the draw. Faceoff is won by the Golden Gophers, and they clear it out of the zone. And now racing after it, and with a good opportunity here is Anderson. Anderson takes a shot, and that one's caught by the trapper and frozen by Rapoli. Good opportunity there. Unable to put it away, though, are the Gophers, and with 14:25 now, a defensive zone draw for the Flames. That faceoff is won by the Golden Gophers. They take a wrist shot through traffic, and it gets covered up by Rapoli. And we'll have another draw. The Flames making a line change here, and we await the puck drop. That draw is won again by the Gophers, and they take a slap shot through traffic, and Kresbach's shot got all the way through and gets covered up again by Rapoli. 14:16 to go in the second period. Neither team has any need to make a line change. There's been about 2 stoppages now over the course of the past 6 seconds. Face-off won by the Flames. They look to work it out of their own defensive end, and the Gophers prevent that from happening for the moment, but now the Flames get it out, and it goes all the way down for what will be an icing. 14:01 to go in the second period. And now another defensive zone draw for the Flames. They're struggling to get out of their own end without icing the puck right now. The Gophers are taking advantage of this, and they'll see if they can get a goal out of it as well. Now we await for Rapoli's signal that she's ready to go. Appears so, and the puck is on the ice. This draw is won by the Flames. Now possession is battled for along the near wall, and the Flames come away with it and get it out to neutral ice, and skating ahead with it now are the Flames. But quickly the Gophers take back possession, and a quick wrist shot, and that one's saved. And a rebound opportunity, and that one patted away as well by Rapoli. Another shot now, and Senden unable to get that one on goal, and it gets kicked out through neutral ice, and racing after it and winning the race there is Senden, and she'll gain possession back for the Gophers. Now racing ahead is Shea. Shea is stripped of the puck, and ahead come the Flames. Flames pass it across the ice, and unable to get anything on it there were the Flames in the middle. And now it's sent down low for McDonald. McDonald makes a move by one. She puts it out right into the slot, but Smeebert unable to get a stick on it, and it is cleared out by the Gophers. Icing call upcoming as John comes down and crosses the hash marks. And with 12:50 to go in the second period, it will be a defensive zone draw now for the Gophers. Gophers unable to make a line change. The Flames will make a line change. So if you're the Gophers, you want to win this draw, get it out to neutral ice and get a line change as fast as possible. You've got tired players on the ice. And they'll win the draw, and they flip it out. And they get it out to neutral ice and dump it into the zone. And they'll go ahead and make that change. The Flames now with possession. It's passed ahead, and rushing forward is Fair. Fair bringing it through neutral ice and ducking by one, and brings it out and passes right into the slot, but unable to get anything on it there. So the possession goes back to the Gophers. Quick wrist shot, and a good chance there for Hazelwood, but she puts it just wide. And now it's brought out of the zone and dumped ahead by Bradford. Bradford setting up a teammate, working her way out in front, and with a good backhand try there is DeMerchant, but the door is shut by Morris. And another good opportunity there, and Liberty unable to put that one away as well. Now passed across, and Serafin controls there for a second, but now passed ahead and deflected into the zone by Bradford. Bradford dumps it in, and now the Gophers go after it and retrieve in their own defensive zone. Gets sent back down low, and both teams battle for it along the near wall. And sent out into the slot, and a good chance there for Carroll. Carroll pulls the trigger, and a good save from Alex Morris, stopping what was a strong shot from Mackenzie Carroll out of Ottawa, Ontario. Both teams make line changes. Gophers show their respects to the netminder. She's holding them in this game right now. This draw is won by the Flames, and now they race away with it. Coming in with a lot of speed there was Odin, and that puck drifts on goal, and it's just covered up by Rapoli, and we'll await the next draw with 11:20 to go in the second. Both teams, or I'm sorry, just the Flames decide to make a line change. And that draw is won by Twowig. And back up to the point, and Senden lets one go. And that one unable to get on frame and doesn't even test Rapoli. Now both teams battling for it in the near corner. Finally, possession is pulled away by Como of the Flames. Como sends it around for McDonald. McDonald blocked off, and it gets put out to neutral ice. Now both teams battling for it, and the Gophers come away with possession. Skating down ice and pushing it in on goal is Twowig, and Rapoli will just cover that up and await the next draw with 10:49 remaining in the second period. Both teams making line changes. The Golden Gophers with a little bit shorter of a bench, and you can see that with just the quantity of line changes. The Flames seem to change lines a little bit more often. And another shot off that draw right in on goal and covered up again by Rapoli. Rapoli definitely not a goalie that likes to pass the puck. If that puck comes in on goal, she covers it up and just leaves it covered and awaits another draw. Draw won by the Flames and controlled by Tipping. Tipping battling Drown for the puck, and Drown wins that battle, and she sends it back to the point for Anderson. Anderson lets a shot go, and now it's loose in the slot, and both teams scrumming for it, and eventually it comes free, and Tipping controls. And down on the ice and having lost her helmet is Rapoli. She'll get her equipment resituated, and will come back to play once she does. Rapoli has her helmet back on. And she's got the trapper and everything situated. So now the ref's deciding where to have the face-off. The face-off will come back out to neutral ice. The Flames will go ahead and take advantage of this period here to make a change. Now the players await the drop, and there it is. And the face-off is won by the Gophers, and they send it in deep. Now it's stopped off by the Flames, and now they come away with possession. Lysel sends it cross ice, and Carroll has it. Carroll bringing it into the zone, and she sends it in deep, where it's taken now by Gusesberg. Gusesberg sends it up to the point, and a quick shot there, deflected out in front. Carroll almost had a chance there. And now it gets twisted around again, and Carroll controls. Carroll with possession still. She wanted to send it around there and connect with Greenwood, but was unable to do so. Lysel blocks off that pass. Good crouch block there. And now it floats out of the zone and is taken on by McLeod. McLeod turns over the puck though, and a good opportunity for the Gophers, but unable to put it home there was Gusesberg. The Flames with possession now. They work it out to neutral ice, and it's just dumped in by Lysel, and the Flames will rush off for a change. That line worried that they were almost the line that gave up a goal, but the Gophers send it all the way down, and touching up is Como. So with 9:16 remaining in the second period, just past the halfway point of this hockey game, the Flames still lead 1-0. Face off now in the defensive zone of the Gophers. They win the draw, and it's back to the point, and a slap shot from Como gets blocked down. And racing around for it now is Hazelrud. Strong hit there. It's ruled body contact. And a quick shot, and that one is covered up by Alex Morris. And they await another draw. Both teams making full 5 personnel changes. Bringing out new players. We get ready for the face-off. There's the drop of the puck, and the draw is won by the Golden Gophers. Gophers send it around the boards for Hazelrud. Hazelrud attempts to play it forwards, and now possession for the Gophers. Coming out of the zone is Stoner. Stoner working into the slot, looking to pull the trigger there, but Tipping says no and steals the puck. Tipping passes onward, and that is a body check, not body contact, and body checking is illegal. And so into the box will go the Golden Gophers. Easy call for the ref there. And with 8:30 to go, a 2-minute power play for the Flames will ensue. They are 1 for 2 so far tonight. Play one back to for the Golden Gophers. They look to clear the zone, but the Flames are stripping them of the puck, and now play it back up to the point. Played cross ice now for DeMerchant. Now played back up to the point for McLeod. McLeod goes down, and a slap shot there, and now loose in the slot, and unable to pull the trigger there was Morris. Moore sends it back into the slot, and a good chance there for DeMerchant, but her shot gets blocked off, and now a 2-on-1 chance, and rushing ahead come the Golden Gophers. A quick shot there, and Rapoli covers that one up. And with 1:25 remaining in the Flames power play, we await a face-off. Now both teams making changes. Second power play line on the ice now for the Flames. And the draw is won by the Gophers. Tipping with it around behind the net. Tipping twists by one. Still behind the net, and now looking to bring it out of her own defensive zone. She passes ahead for Fair. Fair lugging through neutral ice and into the offensive end. Fair skating down low. And she passes up for Simbert. Simbert has it launched off her stick, and the Gophers clear it back down. Rapoli comes out to play that one away, so the Gophers can't get on it first. And now it's sitting around and taken on by Gilmore. Gilmore twists by one, moving her way forward, and she passes for Simbert. Smeebert passes ahead, and it's taken on by Fair, and then she passes off for Bierney. Pass back to Fair, and now down low again, and taken by Gilmore. Gilmore passes back up high for Bierney. Now a shot for Tipping, deflected in front, and a good try there. And now Simbert with an opportunity, and that one a great glove save on a really awkward shot that got deflected at point blank. But Morris able to find it, track it, and snare it with the trapper with 23 to go in the power play, 6:53 to go in the second period. We await the draw, and the faceoff is won by the Flames. Sent up to the point for McLeod. McLeod passes off on that opportunity to unload a shot, and she sends one for DeMerchant. Now McDonald knocked off the puck, but DeMerchant looking to try and send it back up to the point. And now she does, and McLeod has it. McLeod shoots through traffic. Morris attempts to chop it down, but it is taken on now by the Flames, or by the Gophers. Now the Flames take it back, and McDonald has it. We're back to even strength. She sends it down low, and a backhand try there from Morris. Doesn't even test the netminder. Now sent down low, and Morris controlling behind the net. Morris sets it up for DeMerchant. DeMerchant attempting to jab one home. Now McDonald with a try. McDonald shoots one while falling, and she can't put it on frame. Now pass for DeMerchant. She controls, and she tries a sharp angle shot. That one well off. And now the Golden Gophers come away with possession. The Gophers, while being outplayed, are only down 1-0. At any time they can get back into this game, they just need a lucky break. Skating down ice after it now is Bradford. Bradford with possession, and the Golden Gophers take it. Gophers now looking to generate an opportunity, and they'll dump it in cross corner, and going after it now is Drown. Drown can't gain possession. And now it's battled for along the near wall, and eventually possession is brought out by the Flames in the form of Como. Como is knocked off the puck, and now both teams battle for it, and eventually it comes away to John, and John will dump it in for what will be an icing with 5:07 to go in the second period. Now the Flames unable to make a change, and a couple of the Golden Gophers will go off. And so now both teams ready to go, and an offensive zone draw for the Gophers. Gophers have a player tossed out the circle, and the Gophers will eventually win the draw, but they mishandle it and play it out to neutral ice. Now dumped back in, and the Flames take possession. It's twisted around, John decides to leave it, and now passed ahead by the Flames. Lysel going after it, but possession now for Senden. Senden working it down low, and Lysel has it, but only briefly. And now it goes cross ice, and Bradford and Senden battle for it. It gets flipped high up into the air and all the way back down. And that race will be won by the Gophers, but it doesn't get all the way down, so no icing. Now the Gophers with a long stretch pass and a good opportunity here. A pass ahead for Twowig, and that winds up not connecting, and that chance is by the boards. Now the pass taken away by Pierce. Pierce plays cross ice for Smeebert. Smeebert working it down low. Bodies by a couple players. Smeebert still on the puck. And eventually it's taken on. And losing possession though is Morris. Now the Gophers coming the other way. They dump it in. It's into the glove of Rapoli. And she will cover. Now with 3:49 remaining in the second period, the score still is 1-0 in favor of the Flames. The Gophers could get one at any point in time though. All they need is a lucky bounce or a quick odd man rush. And next thing you know, we got a tie game. Face-off won by the Gophers. That's one thing over the past 2 games the Gophers have dominated in the face-off circle. They just haven't been able to generate that into a lot of opportunities. Now the puck controlled by the Gophers in their own offensive zone, but the pass is taken by the Flames, but the Gophers hold it at the blue line. Now the Flames, and turned over, and the Gophers with an opportunity down in front, and diving on it and covering up is Rapoli, but a good chance there, and what nearly wound up being a goal for Liv Twowig. Twowig and Odin are the holders of probably some of the best chances tonight for the Golden Gophers. Now we await the puck drop, and Twowig wins it, and it's sent back to the point for Anderson. Anderson sends it down low, and the Flames are the only ones there, so they gain possession. Sent out by Lysel, and she attempts to pass to McDonald, but it skips over her stick, and now it's sent back in by Anderson. Now controlled back in their own defensive zone by the Flames, and that pass from Como gets deflected, flips up into the bench, and we'll have a face-off come outside of the offensive end. 3:03 to go in the second period. And here we go for the puck drop. And the draw is won by the Flames. Flames come away with it, and Bradford with possession. Bradford tries to twist by, and she loses it to Twowig, and now the Golden Gophers have possession once more. Now it's battled for along in the near corner, and the Flames come away with possession. Pass right out in front, a good chance for Bradford, and that one's skipping over the glove of Morris, but also wide of the net. Bradford with the puck again. She passes across for Tipping. Tipping unloads a shot. That one gets blocked down, and away comes Twowig. Twowig passes off for Odin. Odin rushing through neutral ice into the offensive end, a 2-on-2. She takes a shot off the far pad, and a good chance, but the stick of Twowig was tied up, so she couldn't capitalize on the rebound. That one bounces free, and now Fair goes after it, and it's taken by Bradford. Bradford bumped off the puck with a good showing of body contact, and away comes Twowig. Twowig passes across, and a good chance there, and the trigger pulled, and it's blocked down in front. A good opportunity there for Drown. Now racing back with it is Tipping. Tipping passes cross ice, hoping for McDonald. It's just a bit too far, and it goes to Senden. Senden passes ahead, but that's intercepted by the Flames. Flames pass out in front, and a good chance there for Smeebert, but she's unable to put it home. Now controlled by Serafin at the blue line. Her shot gets blocked down, and now with it is Kresbach. Kresbach twists it around the boards, and it's on track to go all the way back down, but not quite, as it's caught up to by the Flames. Now the Gophers with it at neutral ice, and it's taken by the Flames in their own defensive end. Serafin twists it onwards now for Birney. Birney in neutral territory looking to break into the zone, and she'll do so. Birney getting by a couple, and now she's around behind the net looking for a passing option out in front. Runs going all the way up to the point for John. John's wrist shot through traffic, and Morris manages to find it and cover up with 1:05 to go in the second period. With all this offense being generated by the Flames, they still only have 1 goal to show for it, which is a great thing to see if you're the Golden Gophers, because that means that you just need 1 counterattack and you've tied this game up. That draw is sent right across the net mouth, but DeMerchant unable to get to it. Now it's sent down low and controlled and sent up to the point. And Bradford with a chance, followed right up by DeMerchant, and that one gets blocked down by Senden. Tipping at the point, she takes a shot, and that one gets blocked away. And the Golden Gophers look to get it out of their own defensive end, but are unable to do so. And now it's taken on by Fair. Fair attempting to generate some offense as she battles for it along the near wall and gets sent up to the point for Tipping. Tipping with a shot through traffic. That one doesn't get all the way through, and Linville steps up and manages to get it all the way back to neutral ice and relieve some of the pressure. Now both teams battling for it along the blue line. It winds up being sent in, and after it is Linville. Linville with 18 to go in the period. Her pass ahead gets deflected by McDonald, and now Tipping has it. 12 to go in the period. Tipping from her own defensive zone, enough time to maybe get one more rush, and she flicks one ahead for McDonald. McDonald passes ahead for Simbert, and now McDonald sends it in, a shot from neutral ice, easily stopped by Morris, and that's the end of 2 with the score, the Liberty Flames 1 and the Golden Gophers 0. No score in this period for either side, which is exactly, I mean, obviously if you're the Gophers, you want a goal, but they were unable to get one in that period. So being down 1 with all the offense the Flames have generated, you'll take it. So now we'll go to break, and we'll be back for the start of the 3rd period here on the ACHA YouTube network. And we are back, ready to get the third period underway here at the Ohio Health Ice House in Columbus, Ohio. I am your host, Quinn Kuski, as we get ready for the third between the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers and the Liberty University Flames. This is an 8 seed versus 1 seed matchup and the second game of a 3-game series. The Flames currently lead the series and this game 1-0. The Flames have dominated play so far offensively, but have not been able to generate more than 1 goal, which is allowed. And the last thing you want to do if you're the Flames is allow another team to hang around like they've done here with the Golden Gophers. Now a quick chance for the Gophers. They could draw even, maybe get a couple of chances and even take the lead in this game. And now the draw is won by the Flames and taken on by McDonald. McDonald bringing it into the zone, and it's chipped ahead. And going after it is Morris. Morris plays it up to the blue line where it's taken by Pierce. Pierce plays across and it's controlled by Tipping. Tipping takes a wrist shot and goes through everybody and doesn't find its way on frame. And now Pierce is forced out and it's taken on now by the Gophers. Twowig lugging through neutral ice and into the offensive end. She looks for a pass across the net mouth, but that doesn't connect. And there a slap shot from Senden gets deflected out in front and winds up dribbling wide. And is taken on by the Flames and sent out for McDonald. McDonald with a diving effort manages to get into the zone and Smeebert goes after it. Now Smeebert battles for it and it gets poked back in where it will eventually be possession gained for the Gophers. Golden Gophers bringing it out now in the form of Shea. Shea brings it through neutral ice and into the offensive end, and now she controls around behind the net. Shea puts it out in front and a quick wrist shot, and that one going just wide. A good chance for Gusesberg. Now it goes back out. And a good shot there from the point from Anderson gets blocked down. And now retreating back to play it is Roberts. Roberts plays it, and it's dumped in by Drown. Drown's dump in is taken along by the Flames. Serafin with possession, and she twists it on now, and it goes to McLeod. McLeod plays it forward, and it's taken by the Flames. Now controlled and dumped in by Bradford. That one goes around the boards and is taken on by Roberts. Roberts passes it forwards, and it's turned over, and a bit of body contact there sends McDonald tumbling to the ground, and a bit more, and some more players go down to the ice. Now with possession is Roberts for the Gophers. Gophers still in possession. With it now is Anderson. Anderson passes across, and it's taken on now by Drown. Drown flips it into the zone and rushes off for a change. She's been on the ice for a while, and Rapoli decides to catch that dump in and hold it for a draw. Both teams making changes now, getting the lineup they want on the ice. And there is the puck drop. Face-off is won by the Flames, and now they control. Now both teams scrap away at it. Neither one able to gain possession still along the near wall. Both teams battling away, and finally it kicks all the way to the far wall, and pinching in to get it is Hagstrom. Hagstrom, though, is offsides as she enters the zone, and so we'll have another draw that will come outside of the circles. Now we await the puck drop. And this face-off is won by the Flames. Serafin with possession. She plays across, and it was taken by McLeod, but she passed right back, and now turned over to the Golden Gophers, and McLeod controls. McLeod sets it up for McDonald. McDonald with a full extension, but she's not quite able to get to it, and it gets dumped back in by the Gophers, and it's taken on by McLeod. McLeod looking for Simbert, unable to get it there. And now it's dumped back in on goal, and it's sticked away by Rapoli. Now flipped out of the zone by the Flames, and going in hard after it is Hagstrom, and she will get there, and that will be an icing. Both teams now getting set. The Golden Gophers making a change. Unable to make a change, though, are the Flames. They have tired legs on the ice, and the Golden Gophers may look to take advantage of that. Now with the puck drop, the Golden Gophers will win the draw. and it gets sent around the boards where it'll be played now by Drown. Golden Gophers continue to lug it in their offensive end. Hazelwood had possession there briefly, but now it's taken on and dumped out by Morris. Morris sets up McDonald. McDonald realizes she has no help and just dumps it in and goes off for a change. Now DeMerchant going in on the forecheck, but she's unable to get there as it gets dumped out of the zone by the Gophers. Rapoli has to set it off for Como. And now Como twisting around, and she passes to her fellow line mate, John. Now down the wing and controlled by Bradford. Bradford walking her way out in front, sit up to the point for Como, and Como's blast goes wide to the left of the cage. Reversing her path and going around to get it is Anderson. Anderson battles away at it and eventually coming away with the puck is Hazelwood. Hazelwood takes a shot, and that one's gloved by Rapoli, and this time she actually plays it after catching it in the glove, and it's now taken on by Tipping. Tipping's pass is off the mark, and the Golden Gophers send it back in deep. It goes off the boards, and now chipped, looking to play it out in front there, was Stoner, but now it winds up going off the back of the net and is taken on by John. John twists it around, but it's now taken by the Gophers, and that shot goes through traffic, and no one finds it, and it's taken now by the Flames. The Flames lug through neutral ice, and Bradford dumps it into the zone, and both teams battle for it, and the Gophers come away with possession. Gophers play up through neutral ice, and Stoner comes away with it. Stoner lugging through neutral ice into the offensive end. She takes a shot that goes well wide to the left of the cage. And now the Flames take possession back. Lugging into the zone now and flipping it by and going after it herself is Gibson. Gibson leaves it off there, hoping that it would be taken by Gilmore. Gilmore unable to get a stick on it though. And now the Gophers get it back in deep in their offensive zone. Puck taken on now by the Flames, but a good shot there from Senden. That one gets blocked down out in front by Tipping, and now battled for by both teams again. Both teams scraping away at it in the near corner. Neither one able to gain possession of the puck. And now finally it comes away in possession of the Gophers. Tipping sends it out from her own defensive zone, and it's taken ahead now by Gibson. Gibson just decides to dump it into the zone, and Kresbach will go back to play it for the Gophers. The Gophers play ahead, but now it is taken on by the Flames. Smeebert attempted to get by, unable to do so though, and now it's played for McDonald. McDonald takes a shot, and she banks it in off the post and buries it. A snipe of a shot off the right, or off the post to the left of Morris, and banks in behind her. A fantastic finish, and just like that, the Flames are up 2-0 with 13:50 to go in the game. Here the Gophers, all hope is not lost. There's still plenty of time. You just got to hope that the attack you've been generating this period can lead to a goal shortly, as that would be, because you need to get rid of all the motivation that was just gained and the momentum that was just gained by the Flames. Carroll with possession off the draw for the Flames. They pass over for John. Now John tries to pass up, but that's intercepted by the Gophers. Now poked ahead by Bradford and taken on now by Lysel. Lysel loses possession, but Carroll finds it and she dumps it in. And now going after it is DeMerchant. None of them able to get possession though, and it's played out, and John dumps it right back into the zone though, and now the Golden Gophers come away with it. Golden Gophers reverse path to avoid Lysel. And it's lugged forward now by Drown. Drown plays it ahead, looking for Gusesberg, but it winds up going all the way into the zone, where it's twisted on by Como. Como plays ahead for Fair. Fair was hoping to connect with DeMerchant. That doesn't connect. Now a shot by the Golden Gophers, banks off the boards, and is taken by John. John plays across ice, and that pass gets broken up, and now the Golden Gophers control in the form of Shea. Shea flips into the zone and right into the trapper of Rapoli, who plays it on now for John. John leaves it, and it's taken off now by DeMerchant. DeMerchant twists around and plays back for John. John controls behind her net in her own defensive zone. And now it's set up for Como. Como sends it around the boards, And coming in to take it there were the Flames, but they were unable to get possession, and now the Golden Gophers come away with it. Battling along the boards now is Hazelrud and Como, and John comes away with possession out of that scrum. And now it gets dumped in, and the Golden Gophers go back to retrieve it. With it now is Anderson. Anderson pokes it on, and Hagstrom gains possession there. But now it is taken by Bradford. Bradford walks out in front and takes a shot, and pokes it all the way through and in. That one, Morris just seemed to lose sight of it, and Bradford's shot rolls up over her pad and finds its way in the goal, and just like that, it is 3-0 Flames. 11:55 remain now in the third period. You're starting to feel pretty comfortable right now if you're the Flames, but the absolute last thing you want to do is go into the shell. You hold a 3-goal lead, but you go into the shell, and next thing you know, you let in one, and then you start to panic, and the Golden Gophers are right back into this game. You've got to, if you're the Flames right now, you've got to keep up the attack, keep up the intensity, and don't let the Golden Gophers back into this game. With possession now is Odin. Odin taken into the near corner, where it's taken away by the Flames. McDonald on it now. She passes ahead for Simbert. Simbert pokes it back for Morris. And now McDonald takes a shot from a sharp angle, and this one is covered up by Morris. She looked a bit shaky doing it, but makes the save. Now a line change for the Flames as they get set up for this upcoming face-off. Flames win the draw, and now they have possession, and a quick shot there from Bierney goes just wide of the cage. A good opportunity there, and she's hit up along the wall. That's ruled body contact, completely legal. And now going after it and gaining possession are the Golden Gophers. It's controlled by the Gophers in their own defensive end, but now taken on, and with possession are the Flames. Gilmore sends it up to the point, and John's shot gets blocked, but quickly John turns around and lifts the stick of Odin and takes a quick shot on goal that is covered up by Morris, and she holds for a draw with 10:53 to go in the third period. Both teams making line changes as they get set for this draw. Face-off won by the Flames. Tipping takes a wrist shot through traffic. Now loose in the slot. Both teams scrap at it, and eventually it kicks free to the near wall. Another solid hit there. Another good bout of body contact. And coming away with possession now are the Golden Gophers. Shea battling for it for the Gophers, but it eventually gets flipped all the way back down for what will be an icing by the Flames. Flames were hoping to make a change right there, but are unable to do so. Now with 10:27 remaining in the third, the Flames have tired legs on the ice. Greenwood in on the draw for the Flames, and Gusesberg in on the draw for the Gophers. Gusesberg wants to win this draw, and she is unable to do so as the Flames come away with possession. Tipping plays it around the boards. And now both teams fighting for it. And eventually possession kicks free, and it's controlled by Tipping of the Flames. Tipping dumps it in, and now the Flames will get a much-needed line change and possession for the Gophers in the form of Roberts. Roberts plays up the wing, and that's intercepted now, and Fair comes in. Fair looks to poke one in. It goes off the outside the cage, and now kicks back around, and Serafin sends it back in deep. Going after it again are the Gophers. And now it's battled for along the near wall, and possession for Anderson. Anderson works her way past two out in front, and then her pass ahead is off the mark and goes all the way down for what will be an icing. The Gophers were in the process of trying to make a change there as that puck went down for icing, and so those tired players will have to come back onto the ice, and possibly a good opportunity for the Flames can be produced due to the exhaustion of this Gopher line. Face-off is won by the Gophers. The Flames race over. They get to it, but the Gophers manage to pull it away, and they get it out to neutral ice, and now they'll dump it down. Blockered away there by Rapoli, as that might have been up into the top corner of her net, and she didn't even want to take a chance. Poked ahead now by Smeebert, and it's sent down low where John will play it for the Flames. That one flips up into the air, where it's taken on now by Como, and now it comes back for Smeebert, and it's played ahead. Smeebert is offsides. McDonald was in just a bit early. And a chance there to maybe go up 4-0 on an odd man rush. But the scoreline will remain 3-0 with 8:54 to go in the third period. Face-off won by the Flames. It's sent back and dumped in by Pierce. That dump in is taken by the Gophers. The Flames are in there after it and wind up coming away with possession. Sent out right across the net mouth, but unable to gain possession and get a shot away are the Flames, and it comes back out to Tipping, who passes across to Pierce as they retreat all the way back to their own defensive end. Lysel plays it ahead, and going after it is Carroll. Carroll darting into her own end and takes a shot right across the net mouth, and she gets wiped out, and that will be a penalty. And so a power play ensuing for the Flames. Already up 3-0 in this game. This is exactly what the Flames needed to help them go ahead and close this one out. Even if you don't score here, this still runs 2 minutes off the clock and gets you down to 6:23 to go. And now DeMerchant on the draw for the Flames. And she'll win it. And she wins it back for McLeod. Now it goes back to DeMerchant, back for McLeod. They play catch back and forth still. McLeod from the blue line takes a shot. That one gets blocked down off the glass, and McDonald goes back for DeMerchant. DeMerchant to McLeod. McLeod, DeMerchant, McLeod, DeMerchant. And now it's sent down low for McDonald. Goes right across the net mouth. DeMerchant tries to jab one home, but that doesn't go. And now it's lugged out by Odin. Odin takes a shot, and that one's gloved and held by Rapoli. 7:46 to go in the third period, 1:23 to go in the Flames power play. Flames currently lead this game 3-0. It was 1-0 entering the period, and the Flames had a good kick to start to this period and jumped out to the 3-0 lead. Now around the boards it goes. Tipping goes after it. She's unable to gain possession. And now it kicks free, and possession is gained by the Flames and sent across now for Smeebert. Smeebert drops it off, and it's controlled now at the blue line, and now it goes across for Smeebert. Smeebert pulls the trigger, and that one catches netting, so we'll have a stoppage with 1:01 to go in the third period. 7:24 to go in the third. The forwards currently on the ice for the Flames will stay. Everyone else changes. Now we prepare for the upcoming draw. This faceoff is won by the Golden Gophers. With it now is Roberts. Roberts wanting to clear the zone, but Smeebert forces possession away from her, and it's taken on now by Gilmore. Now played across for Bierney. Bierney goes back for Tipping. Tipping goes down low for Smeebert. Smeebert walks across the blue line, and she takes a shot loose in the slot. Both teams poking away at it, and it's poked into the net. Off the rebound there, it's buried by Gilmore, I believe. I'm not quite sure who got the last stick on it. And it appears as though the goal was actually buried by Shannon Fair. And just like that, the score line reads 4-0 with 6:56 to go in the third period. If you're the Golden Gophers, I think at this point that's just about it. If they're not out of it yet, they just need to generate a lot of offense and very quickly. Now played cross ice for Lysel. She goes in after it, and she takes a tumble into the boards. She's still down on the ice. Shaken up is Lysel. And we're going to have a stoppage. And they'll get the medical staff on to check her out. She's back up to her skates under her own power, which is a good sign. And she's slowly but surely making her way off the ice.
Come on, ref, stay with it.
Lysol working her way to the bench. She'll take a seat for a bit, and off that stoppage, both teams make line changes. Appears as though that was called body contact and fair, so we will stay at even strength. Face-off is won by the Golden Gophers. They attempt to gain possession, but it squirts free and goes to DeMerchant. DeMerchant's dumb-out attempt goes right into the bench and out of play, so we'll go to a face-off with 6:28 to go in the third period. The score is still 4-0 Flames. Face-off is won by the Flames. And now twisting around and attempting to get it out of their own end. And finally doing so. And it's played across now and taken on by Gibson. Gibson takes a quick shot, but Morris covers that one up and holds for a draw. Line changes for both teams as they prepare for the upcoming face-off. And this face-off is won back to Pierce, and her shot doesn't make its way all the way through the traffic and is taken on now by the Golden Gophers. Now with possession are the Flames in their own defensive end as they scrap away at it, and they send it back down. It will not go back down far enough for an icing, and so now possession is taken by Roberts. Roberts makes one miss and now a second. Roberts bringing it through her own defensive zone, lugging all the way to neutral ice and out of the offensive end. Roberts still on the puck. Now she walks around behind the net. Now looking for a passing option is Roberts. She goes back to Linville, and Linville dumps it back in behind. Now it kicks out around the boards, and multiple players collide going after it. And it winds up kicking free to be taken on by Tipping. Tipping plays ahead for DeMerchant. Now it's battled for along the boards, and we have an upcoming penalty to the Golden Gophers. We'll see who it's on and what the call is. And heading to the box is Ashley Zacho. And that will be a 2-minute minor with 5:08 remaining in the third. Just like before with the Flames' power play, you don't necessarily need to score on it, but you can use it to lighten the load and allow you to kill off the rest of this game. This will get you down to 3:08 remaining if they don't score. Face-off one to McDonald. She plays back for McLeod. McLeod, DeMerchant. McLeod and DeMerchant play catch. They pass back and forth, and now DeMerchant walks down low with it, and she sets up McDonald. McDonald attempts to stuff it in short side, tries a second time. This time it kicks out into the slot, where it's taken on now by the Gophers. Oden lugging through neutral ice. She takes a shot far side, and that one's kicked aside and by Rapoli. Now McDonald coming away with it. McDonald leaves it for Morris. Morris takes a shot, and Morris makes the save. Now DeMerchant knocks one forwards, but the Gophers gain possession, and they send it out as far as McLeod. Taken on now with control are the Gophers. Are the Flames with Gibson. Taking it around the zone now is Gilmore. Gilmore goes up to the point for Tipping. Tipping holds and passes across for Simbert. Simbert goes across, and a quick shot there from Fair, and it's loose in front. Both teams battle for it, and the puck was in, but the refs blew their whistle first. We have no goal. And So the scoreline will remain 4-0 with 3:54 to go in the game, 47 seconds to go in the power play for the Flames. Face off, won by the Flames, and Fair controls and sets up for tipping. Tipping goes down low for Smeebert. Smeebert's shot gets blocked off. Now a turnaround chance there, and a good chance for Gilmore, but she's unable to stuff it home. Gilmore goes back up to the point for tipping. Tipping goes across for Bierney. Bierney plays across for Smeebert. Smeebert takes a shot, and that one's loose behind Morris. Both teams jabbing at it. It's still loose. Both teams still scrambling for it. And Morris down on her backside covers up. And we'll have a face-off with 16 to go in the power play, 3:23 to go in this game. Morris hasn't gotten back up to her skates yet. And she's still down on one knee, might just be exhausted. She's been relied on heavily in this game, and the fact that she's only given up 4 is truly a wonder. Now it's played across and controlled by Gibson. Gibson lets one go, and that one winds up going wide. McDonald attempts to jab one further, but DeMerchant pokes one on for her. Now it's cleared out by the Gophers with 2-1, and we're back to even strength. McLeod controls at neutral ice. McLeod plays ahead for DeMerchant. McLeod dumps it in, it goes off a ref, and now Morris takes possession. Morris dumps one in, and going after it are the Flames in the form of Carroll. Carroll battling for it along the near wall, and eventually coming out of the pile is Shea. Shea rushing through the neutral zone and into her offensive end, where it's taken on now by the Flames with 2:30 to go. Now it's turned over and taken by the Gophers, and a quick shot from Sinden. That one almost finds its way through, but stays out. And now Pierce battles for it around behind. This one kicks free and is taken on now by the Gophers. Walking across there and taking a quick wrist shot was Gusesberg. She was looking for deflection and was unable to find one. 2 more minutes remain in this game. And possession now for the Flames. And Carroll brings it up and dumps it in, and the Flames will take advantage of that and go for a change. Gophers with possession, they work it out of neutral ice. And now it's sent across, and a good shot opportunity there, but unable to pull the trigger are the Flames, and the Gophers come away with possession. With it now is Drown. Drown takes a shot, and that one's snared by the trapper of Rapoli with 1:34 to go in this game. Neither team in need of a line change. And now the Flames will make a line change. Face off, won by the Flames. 90 seconds left. Flames in possession. They bring it out of their defensive end through neutral ice and into the offensive zone now. That's Gibson. Gibson sends it back for Gilmore. Gilmore goes back to the point for Serafin. Now back for Gilmore. That shot goes all the way through, but doesn't find its way on frame. And now both teams battle for it, and the Gophers poke it through. And Pierce goes after it. Pierce from her own defensive end plays it across for Serafin. Serafin's lead pass finds a Gopher. Now it's played ahead by Anderson and left off to be taken by Pierce. Pierce plays across for Serafin. Serafin plays ahead for Greenwood. Greenwood loses it to Anderson, and Anderson dumps it back in, and going around behind to play it is Rapoli. Rapoli has one poked out right in front of her, and she jumps on it with 31.3 to go in the third period. The scoreline remains 4-0 with 31.3 seconds left in the third period. Both teams scrapping for the draw. And we have a penalty coming up here with 26.4 to go. It's a holding call. On which side, though? And heading to the box is John for the Flames. So one last power play opportunity as the Gophers may just look to get one in this game for pride. Twowig wins the draw. Now it's taken by the Flames and dumped out. On frame where it's patted away by Morris. And with 15 to go, enough time for one last rush for the Gophers. Forced to turn back is Kresbach. And now she'll try the other way with 9 ticks left. It's played ahead and Twowig takes on. And with 3 to go, the Liberty Flames will be moving on to the semifinal round. With that dump down, they win with a final score of 4-0 and a strong shutout from Rapoli. A good game from Rapoli will lead to a 4-0 victory for the Flames. The Flames came into the third with only a 1-0 lead, and not wanting to let their opponents hang around any longer, they went ahead and capitalized on the opportunities they'd had throughout the game and buried 3 in the third and went on to win the game by a final score of 4-0. I'm Quinn Kuski, and that'll be all for tonight. You are watching the ACHA YouTube network. We will be back Saturday for the semifinals.